This is what we're doing today. Third grade. That's my name, the name of the book, and the author. Okay, hello class. Today we are reading a story about James and the Giant Peach. I chose this book because it was interesting when I was a child, and I figure you guys would enjoy it as well. I even have a video we will watch after the lesson. This story is good, and the movie is much better. You only see things in this movie that your imagination can only see. And I just think that it's a great movie for children to really engage in it. And that's what I want to do. I want my students to really engage in this lesson. As well, we will do a story map. I will ask certain questions to you guys about this movie. I will ask you, what is the character name? And the character name is James. And the main thing in this movie is James and his giant peach. We will also go over how this peach become giant. We will also talk about, in different areas, we will talk about the beginning, the middle, to the end. And that's what we dealing with in the story map. My main focus for this lesson is that I want you guys to be able to understand what you're reading and also demonstrate things through the text. I also want you guys to use your imagination. I want you guys to be able to jot down what you heard, jot down things like what you think is going to happen next. I want that to happen. Or what would you do if you were James? I also want you to even think about, this adventure. Would you love to have this adventure? What could they did differently in this movie or in this book? We're also going to have like a group discussion. Everybody's going to talk about it. We might even laugh about it. But I'm telling you guys, really going to enjoy James and the Giant Peach. This is a real good Disney movie. And like I said, I'm an adult. And I will go back any day to watch this movie. And I just want my classmates to enjoy this movie as well. These are the characters. From James to the old man to his aunts, to the earthworm, to the spider, Mrs. Spider. And it's the peach. And the reason why I say this movie is very good because James is only 4 years old. He lived with his lovely parents. And by the sea in south of England until his parents were killed by an escaped rhinoceros. And that's how adventurous it is. It's crazy. But he wound up living with his aunts. Well, I wish they say forced to live with his aunts. And on the White Cliffs of Dover for 3 years, James was treated bad. Beaten for no reason, improper feeding, and forced to sleep on barely floorboards in the attic. And like I said, this was something that people might go through everyday life. But what happens is that it's like an everyday reality movie, and then all of a sudden it just transforms into an animation. And that's what I like about it, because it just switches and just gets you more interested and more involved. And he just started traveling in this peach, and it was just some type of magic that he found while he was outside. And we will get to that in the lesson. We will really get deep down into how, James found this magic stuff to make this peach grow. So that's what happened. James accidentally spilled something on the peach that made the peach tree grow, and they only had like one peach on there. Okay, his aunts was selling tickets to the neighbors to show the large single peach. So they made money off this Peach because there was rags. So they came to like rags to riches almost. That's what it was. His aunts wasn't that rich and things like that. So, and obviously his aunts really didn't want him. They was forced to keep him. But they treated him so badly. But James went on this adventure, and that's when he met, you know, the green grasshopper, the earthworm, the spider, the ladybug, and the rest of the cast on here. But I don't want to give all the good information about how the peach grew. But of course it was magic. And he traveled for a little while because he came from England. You have to realize that. So he really came over the ocean. And he went all the way to New York City. New York, the big city, somewhere that he's not used to. And I just think it's very, very adventurous. And like I said, that we are going to engage in this, you know. I'm going to ask questions of where did this take place? You know, did they have any problems in this movie or in this story? And how can we fix these problems, or how could James fix these problems? And like I say, we'll also be talking about what would you do differently if you was in a situation. But keep in mind, James was only 4 years old. So it's not really that much he was able to do because he was a kid. But you guys are 8 years old, a little older than James. So you have to sit there and think about what would you do if you were in this situation. And like I said, our lesson will take place. And we're going to draw, we can draw James and his peach. We're going to do some creative things. We're going to draw, art, all that good stuff, and things like that. Let me see what else we're going to be doing in our lesson. Like I said, I want you guys to really comprehend on what you're reading. We're going to discuss that. I just want everyone to really understand what you're reading on this. And I want everyone to really ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. That's how you get your answers. And like I said, we are going to read the book, ask questions, beginning, the middle, and the end. And of course, like I said, when we're done with this whole lesson, we're going to enjoy the movie. And we are going to decide if the movie's better than the book or the book is better than the movie. But they always say, they always have more information in the book than in the movie. But we do have pictures in the book. But it's more adventurous when you're watching the movie. The movie is will get you more into it. And more involved. And I just want you guys to really love this movie. And really enjoy it. Because it's really a good movie. And things like that. And I just hope you learn a lot in this lesson. And I just hope that I explain myself well.